38-27 lead. The building was really into it. I think from there it was like 40-16 UConn. What during that stretch of 20 minutes there, what went wrong?
Yeah, you got to give them a lot of credit. They came out. Mullins hit a really good ATO for a 3. And then we just offensively, the ball just wasn't popping. And it really, the way we came out in the second half was kind of disappointing. That's both times that we've played here, we've come out. St. John's kind of jumped us at the beginning of the second half, and UConn did coming out. So you got to give them a lot of credit. They came out, and I thought they were really physical with us. They got into us and had us on our heels a little bit offensively.
Going off that, the second half, you had 3 turnovers in the first half. You had 4 in the first 4 minutes of the second half, sparked a 13-2 run for them. Just coming out of the break, how deflating was that to have that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing happening against St. John's. So it was kind of, I think it was very deflating. But again, give them credit. They're an older team that kind of, they can impose your will on them at times. And the game there, we did a really good job of taking care of the ball. And, we talked about turnovers, and especially live ball turnovers. And I think the live ball turnovers really hurt us.
You've had a lot of times this year where you've called timeouts and things have changed. It seemed like each
I ran out of timeouts.
Like, well, what's going on in those huddle? Like, is it like the process of trying to find answers tonight?
No, it's a little bit different. Like, I haven't figured. Well, I kind of figured out with this team, but on the road we have such a different mentality. We've really struggled at home at times, just playing well for good stretches. And it's. Some of it is a little bit of youth. I mean, this is really only our second time in this building, so the crowd was unbelievable. They were into it. I think some shots that we've been making. I think we were a little juiced up and we missed some shots early. We didn't take advantage of it, like when the crowd was going early. But again, like sometimes it's just when guys don't have it going, or they got into us pretty well, and we missed a couple layups, we missed a couple free throws, and it just sometimes it just snowballs.
For Tyler, Matt, what were you guys seeing at the start of the second half that either what they were doing or what you weren't doing?
We just didn't come out with enough urgency, I feel like. They set the tone at half. They had a big 3 out of timeout. We had 2 turnovers, and, that hurt. But, I mean, we never gave up. We fought back, cut it to 8 or 9. And we had gave up 3 offensive rebounds, which hurt too. So they set the tone that half.
Yeah, well, like Tyler said, we were too soft in the second half to start. They came out ready to go, and it's been a problem a couple games now, so we really have to take care of that.
Coach, what is your message to your young squad about handling a game like this today and then move going forward?
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you get your ass kicked. I mean, I think the last one we had was Michigan. We bounced back really well against there. We've been playing good basketball. You just got to bounce back. It's not the end of the world. That's a good basketball team, and they're coming off a tough loss against Creighton. And again, I thought their defensive intensity was so much different than it was against Creighton. And I think them being on the road was probably good for them at this point. Sometimes you come off a tough home loss, you go on the road, and you can really find a way. And I think Danny did a great job with his team with that.
Didn't look like he was moving around a little slow.
Duke had to go against Terrence Reed No, he's fine. Duke's been battling. He's probably a little worn down. Just battling the guys he's had to battle and doing the things he's been doing.
Coach, you mentioned defensive intensity tonight. Duke had 3 rebounds. You guys had 24 total. What did you see from UConn defensively in terms of their presence, their intensity that they were giving in the paint?
I tell you who doesn't get a lot of credit for his defense, but Terrence Reed he's a very smart basketball player as a center. He knew like 4 or 5 of our play calls and actually jumped to plays where you don't see centers do that very much. He really did a good job. He really, when he's playing the way he played tonight, they're going to be tough to beat because, obviously he can get a bucket anytime down low, but I thought defensively he was just phenomenal. Like I just thought he was jumping our high post action. His pick and roll defense was really smart. He was hedging on the guys. He wanted to hedge. He didn't hedge on the guys. They were diving on their Caden's pick and roll, so he wasn't hedging on that. And then Demery, who he didn't have a great night offensively, but Demery, I think, is as good a guard as there is in this league. And he just runs their stuff really, really well. But I think defensively, I thought Reed had a heck of a game.
There were a couple near shot clock violations out of that first immediate timeout. Was that something that UConn changed, or was that a lack of execution from you guys?
Probably a lack of execution, but also give them, give their guys credit for playing good defense. I mean, it's a little bit of both, probably.
I'm sure you'll have a better answer when you rewatch it, but your initial takeaway, was this more self-inflicted or from the offensive mistakes?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think you have to, again, I'm a big believer in giving credit where credit's due, and you gotta give credit to UConn for playing really good and physical and hard. I thought we had some stretches there. We went some stretches that we had some lineups that probably were self-inflicted by me, to be honest with you. It just wasn't a lot of foul calls called for like long stretches, so we got caught with some lineups that probably hurt us a little bit more than it has in the past.
Coach, piggybacking off of your point about Silas Kamari Jr., I thought he really controlled the pace of the game, even though he had 7 turnovers when he had the ball in his hands. What did you see from him, and how difficult is it to game plan against someone who makes your team play at his speed?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of talked about that. I think he's a really, really good player. He runs their team, and I think I just said that before, so just go back to that one. He's a really good player.
Tyler, Matt, where do you guys find momentum going into the next set of games for you and your team as leaders for this team?
It starts in practice on Sunday or Monday, honestly. Like Coach said, we got to bounce back, and it starts in practice, so if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
Matt, you can go.
I mean, we've been through it before. We played Michigan. We got our ass kicked, and we bounced back. So we've been through it. We just got to stick together. We still got a long season left.
Matt, there was a sequence in the first half where you forced or created 2 turnovers guarding Caravan. How do you think that you've kind of grown as a defender throughout this year?
I would say watch a lot of film with Perk and assistants. We watch a lot of film, definitely on the defensive end. That helps me a lot.
Coach, they shoot over 50% from the field in both halves. Everybody scores for them. But they have a coach like Daniel on the offensive side. With this group, just how hard are they to stop on that end?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that you're so worried about Mullins and Caravan, and then by the way, you got Solo Ball. Like they're a veteran team. They've been together, and I think you got to give Mullins as a freshman a lot of credit for kind of going into this group and really complimenting that group. Because that's a group that's been together, and I think again Demery, I'll give him another. I just think he runs their offense really well. Like he just doesn't try to do too much, makes the plays. They're good. They're a really good team.
Coach, I know there's a lot of emphasis on the second half, but what were you pleased to see from the team in the first half of the game?
I thought the first half, we didn't start off good. We gave up, I think the first 10 points was just kind of things that, again, I hate to blame it on home, that we just haven't done on the road. We've been so much more solid on the road. But I would say that, I thought we came out with good intensity, and we had opportunities to kind of open up a lead, and we just couldn't take advantage of them. We had a couple threes in the corner. I think Matty had a 3 in the corner he missed. We had a couple shots. Deb had an open shot that he missed. That you got to make against a UConn. You got to take advantage of the building, and the students were unbelievable. We just couldn't take advantage of that, and that's kind of put us in a little bit of a hole.
Playing in some of the larger environments, the second time playing here wasn't, what you wanted to see, especially against.
Oh yeah, the environment was awesome. It's just kind of
not the environment itself. Talking about the playing the team, kind of coming out and adjusting to the environment. Obviously, with the BE tournament coming up in a couple of weeks, playing Madison Square Garden. Not to say you have any trepidation, but do you feel like there's certain things you have to figure out to miss the game within the team in 15, 20,000 plus attendance environments?
No, I mean, we play pretty well, Creighton. I would think, this league's really unique in the fact that we play a true round robin. So it's coming from the Big Ten last year, like you could play Illinois and then you might not see Illinois for a year and a half later. where in this league, everyone's watching everyone every night, and everyone's so familiar with everybody. And I think the older teams take advantage of that. I think that's what I've always thought about the Big East. It's just really difficult league games, and we don't have a bottom in this league. It's like top middle. We don't have like 6 teams that are 1-13, 1-14. So, and since we play the round robin, the second time you go, it's going to be brutal. And like they're a veteran team. I thought Terrence Reed did a phenomenal job on his pick and roll coverage. He made a great adjustment from the first game. You know, we hit Duke a lot in the first game. We couldn't hit him in the second game. And I think that's where veteran teams really kind of excel in this league, because you play a true round robin. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.